we are going to do some subtracting of decimals this evening, and I am going to give you 10 minutes. You just do it there where you are at home on a piece of paper or in your Watobe book. And yeah, so we're going to have 10 minutes. Remember, this is mental maths. So try and do it as efficiently and as quickly as possible. And so 3 minutes and we're going to start. There we go. Off you go. And you've got 3 minutes. We've got 1 minute left. And stop. That is our time. I wonder how that went for everybody. Okay, let's check answers. There we go. So 10 rand minus 3 rand 55. That gives me 6 rand 45. 20 rand minus 14 rand 30 gives me 5 rand 70. So you could have done it by going, if I have 14 rand 30, you could have counted up to 20, for instance. So you could have said plus 70 cents, that will give me 15. And then I have to add another 5 to get to 20. So that's one way you could have done it mentally. You could have done it as 20 minus 14. That gives me 6 minus another 30 cents. That will give me 5 rand 70. Okay, 50 rand minus 14 rand 98. 35 rand and 2 cents. And 100 minus 69 Rand 50 is 30 Rand 50. 8 Rand 67 or 867 minus 5,24 is 3,43. 19,86 minus 7,34 is 12,34. 36,68 minus 24,50 is 12,18. And 48 Rand 50 minus 5 or 48.50. I'm making all of these rands. Doesn't matter. It's just decimals. Minus 5,6, 42,9. 35,1 minus 12,5 is 22,6. And 25,6 minus 8,7 is 16,9. Alrighty. 10 out of 10. Nice, Nafisa. Nice, Matthew. 5 out of 5. Remember, you take the total of however many you attempted and how many you got correct. And then next time you try and do more correct. 10 out of 10. Well done. 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Excellent. Well done, everybody. That is it for our mental maths. So we're going to go on now to look at multiplying decimals. So last week, we spent the whole week on adding and subtracting. So this is what we're going to do next, multiplying decimals. Okay, so let's just, as a little warm-up, do this. So if I take 0,25 and I add 0,25 and I add another 0,25, what do I get? Put your answer in the chat. 0,75. That's right. And that is the same as saying 3 times 0,25. What is that? 3 times 0,25 will be the same, 0,75. Because adding something together 3 times is the same as saying 3 times that number. So if I add 0,25 together 4 times, what do I get for question B? Put your answers down, guys. We are adding 0,25, not 25. 0,25 plus 0,25 plus 0,25 we said was 0,75. If I put another 0,25 with that, that gives me 1. Not 0,1, but 1. That makes up 1 whole. So 4 times 0,25 is how much? That's also 1, yeah, because if I add 0,25 together 4 times and I get 1, then 4 times 0,25 is also 1. 1,5 plus 1,5, what do we get? That's 3. Or 3,0, you can put a 0,0 at the end. So what is 2,15 equal to? The same, that's 3. What is 3,35 plus 3,35? Waiting for some answers. Post your answers in the chat, everybody. Remember about participation. There's no point trying to get better at maths without participating. There we go. That is 6,70. So if we say 2 times 3,35, what do we get? 6,7, the same. Okay, so we're going to start off in our next exercise just timesing some decimals by 10. And we have a flow diagram here. You guys know how this works, so just follow the arrows. So 0.45 times by 10, what do I get? If I times 0.45 by 10. Waiting for answers. There we go. So 0.45 times by 10 means we make this number 10 times bigger. So if we make it 10 times bigger, that's the same as moving the comma one place to the right. So that gives me 4.5. 4.5. So timesing by 10 makes the number 10 times bigger, so we move the comma one place to the right. So 2.96 times 10, what will that be? Just move it one place to the right. That's it, 29.6. And then 13.51 times by 10. That's right, 135.1. Good stuff. And then 24.63 times by 10. Put your answer in the chat. To 146.3. And then 1.22 times by 10, what do we get? 12.2. And 221.1 times by 10. That's right, 2,211. So that's timesing by 10. Now, what is going to happen if we times by 1,000? 3.48 times by 1,000. What do we get? We are timesing. If we are timesing, it means we are making the number bigger. 3.48 times by 1,000. Come put some answers in the chat, everybody. Let's see what you're thinking. So when we times, so let's just start off and let's just times it by 10. If we times 3.48 by 10, we're going to do what we just did previously. We're going to move the comma one space to the right. So that's going to give me 34.8. So if we times it by 100, how many spaces are we going to move it? Move the comma. 1, 2. We make it 100 times bigger, so we move the comma 2 spaces. And that means if we are going to times by 1,000, how many spaces are we going to move it to the right? By making it bigger, by 3 spaces. There we go. And you can literally think of it as there's 3 zeros in 1,000, so it must move 3 spaces to the right. And why is it moving to the right? Because we are making the number bigger. If we're timesing it by 1,000, it's definitely not going to go smaller. It's going to go bigger. Okay, so 3480. So I'm going to leave you for 2 minutes to do the rest of these on your own. Don't put them in the chat. Just do them on your own, there where you are. Work out what the answers are, and in 2 minutes we'll check back and see what you got. Okay, I would like to see who's done. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you are done. Thumbs up in the chat if you're done. With all the remaining questions, not just with the first one, with 5 of them. Okay, good stuff. Let's have a look. Put your answer in the chat. So 81,34 times by 1,000, what will we get? 8,1,3,4,0, because we're going to move the comma 1, 2, 3. We're making the number 1,000 times bigger. So we move the comma to the right. Okay, 26,57 times by 1,000. What did we get? 26,570. So 26,570. Excellent. And then 153,41 times by 1,000 gives me 153,410. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And then 265 times 1,000 is 265,000. And 61,01 times by 1,000. 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay. Let's do the 100 quickly. I'm going to leave you again for about a minute. Work out the answers for 3 on your own, and then we'll check back in about a minute. So we've done 10, we've done 1,000, and now we're doing 100. We skipped the 100 and went straight to 1,000, and now we're doing 100. Those of you who are working quickly can start 4 already, but be careful, because 4, we need to just change our thinking a little bit. Okay, put a thumbs up in the chat if you're done with question 3. Okay, so 29,5 times 100. Since we're timesing by 100, we're going to move the comma 2 spaces to the right. So 2950. It's 2 spaces, guys. I see some 295s, but it's 2 spaces. We're making the number 100 times bigger. So 131,36. We are going to move it 2 spaces. Gives you 13136. 2,56 times by 100, 256. 0,98 times by 100, making it 100 times bigger, so that will be 98. 5,32 will be 532, and last one 1715. Okay, let's have a look at question 4. So here we need to ask, What number times by 10 will give me 15,2? Put your answer in the chat if you think you know. What number times by 10 will give me 15,2? One comma 52. Okay, be careful. We are not timesing 15,2 by 10. There was a number and we times it by 10 and we got 15,2. So that's what we need to think. Don't just take this number now and times it, because we can see the arrows of the flow diagram are going in the right direction, towards the right. It's not going the other way around. Okay. I don't want to confuse division and multiplication now. So think to yourself, what number am I timesing by 10 to get 19,01? So what number will that be? 1,901. There we go. And what number times by 10 gives me 101,6? 10,16. And then you can check. You can say 10,16 times 10. Does that give me 101,6? Yes, it does. And then 241,03. What did I times by 10 to get 241,03? 24,103. That's right. And the last two, what number times by 10 gives me 509,11 or 509,11? That is going to be 50,911. So you probably started noticing already, to get this number, we move the comma the other way. I think I've got too many ones here in my answer. 3,1, 31,159. There we go. Right. So that's how it works when we are timesing decimals by 10, 100, and 1,000. Now we're going to go on and times decimals by other numbers. First, just by whole numbers. Okay. So I want you to try this first one just on your own, doing whatever method you know how to do it, and then put your answer in the chat. Remember, no calculators. You are not allowed a calculator in grade 7. So you only have your lovely brain to rely on. So to do 2,67 times 4, do that on your own. Any way you like or prefer, it's up to you. And then put your answer in the chat. Okay, so some of you are saying 10,68, getting some other answers. Okay, let's see how we can do it. So There's a few ways, and I'm sure you guys I've learned some ways since last year how to do it. So one way is to break up 2,67 into 2 and into 0,67 and to times that by 4. So if we times 2 by 4, we get 8. Now we need to times 0,67 by 4. And how can we do that? Now we can think of 0,67. If I take 0,67 and I times it by 2 just to start off with, then what do I get? 0,67 just timesing that by 2, that gives me 0,6 times by 2 is 1,2, and then 0,07 times by 2 is 0,14. And if I add that together, all together, that gives me 1,34. So 0,67 times by 2 is 1,34. So that will help me to figure out how to do 0,67 times by 4, because I'll just double it again. It's just double and double again. So 1,34 times by 2. So that gives me 2,68. So I'll take the 8 and the 2,6, put all of that together, that gives me 10,68. All right, so that's how we got the answer. That is 10,68. If you got it right, there we go. All right, so yes, we are going to do the rest. I heard you the first time. You don't have to keep putting that in the chat. And or you can add the number together 4 times. That is fine as well. So let's start. We're not going to do 2 yet. We're just going to leave our 2 for now. And let's do 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6 for the next, let's say, 3 minutes. Let's see how fast you guys work, and then we'll check back in after 3 minutes. Just work on your own, and while some of you are working, I'll take 1 or 2 questions. Okay. Who's got a question? Brianna's got a question.
Ma'am,
Hi, Ben.
I have a quick question on multiplying by 1,000, ma'am. Can you give me an easier way, ma'am?
I think that is about the easiest way to do it, is to move the decimal 3 places to the right.
Okay, ma'am.
I don't know of any easier way.
Okay, ma'am. That's all right, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Unite, you next.
Morning, ma'am.
Hi there.
So, ma'am, the question that I want to ask is that how do we multiply a fraction, a decimal, with a whole number?
Okay, so I just explained this one here. We can go over this one again. So we did the 2,67 times by 4.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you do it?
The thing
Did you do
I
this
did,
one?
I used the column method.
Okay, and how do you do the column method for this?
I said 22,67 4 and 4. I placed it under 7.
Okay, so I think what you must do is place your 4 under the 2, because they got the same value. They've got the same place value, because the 4 is a whole number. So I think that's probably where it might have gone wrong.
Okay.
And I know then there are other ways that people do it. They sometimes ignore the decimal and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not sure. Then what do you do after this when you multiply like this?
Can you repeat?
So how did you do it with the column method? How did you multiply it?
I said 7 multiplied by 4.
Okay, but let's I think you must just go back and put the 4 under the 2. Then that should work, because I think the 4 was in the wrong place.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Everyone else, if you are done, you can carry on to 7, 8, and 9. Okay, I'm just going to take one more question. Unati.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi there.
Sorry, ma'am, but the times 1000, do we just add 0 and take out the comma?
Okay, so here, look what we do. If I look at this example here of the 3,48 times 1,000, so we're going to move the decimal. I'll just rewrite it here. So if we move the decimal, that's one place.
Yes.
That's another place. And we can add zeros for ourselves to make it easier. And that's another place. So that's 1, 2, 3 places. So that's how we get 3,480, 3,480.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, so it seems like many of you are done. Let me just check if you are done. Okay. So I wonder if I can, no, let's do this. So 15,8 times 3, put your answer in the chat. So to do 15,8 times 3, we can times 15 by 3 and 0,8 by 3. And then 15 times 3 is 45. And 0,8 times 3 is 0, no, it's not 0,24, it's 2,4. Yeah. 2,4. And then we put that all together, that's 47,4. Nice. Okay, put your answer in the chat for 6,3 times 2. 12,6. Okay, so 6,3 times 2. Let me just find a space to do it over here. So we go 6 times 2 gives me 12. And then 0,3 times 2 gives me 0,6. And that's 12,6. And then 0,42 times 5. 2,1. Okay, so we can times 0,42 by 5. And what do we get when we do that? I'm going to say 0,4 times 5 is 2. And 0,02 times 5 is 0,1. And that gives me 2,1 altogether. And last one, question 6, 1,215 times 3. Put your answer in the chat. $36.45. I'm not sure about the 36.45. Yeah, I think let's do this one. Question 6. So 1 times 3 is going to give me 3. And then 0.215 times 3 is 0.645. Put it back together. That's 3.645. I'm not sure where the 36 came in, guys. It was a 1.215 that you had to multiply. Okay, you're welcome to take a screenshot of the rest. We are pretty much out of time.